All right, so quick catch up before I even get into this video. For those of you that have been living under a rock and didn't hear about this, Boogie was caught basically lying about his cancer diagnosis.
Sure, and I'm not going to. Sure,
he's never doing that. He does not have a cancer diagnosis. There's 0% chance he has one. Remember, every leading thing for this cancer diagnosis the doctor talked about has to do with secondary polycythemia. The sleep apnea was a contributor to that, and the TRT was a contributor to that.
Oh, except for the hormone markers in my blood. Except we're convenient.
Yeah, but if you had hormone markers for it, that's either a definitive diagnosis, in which case you wouldn't be getting a biopsy 2 years later, or it wasn't definitive, and you would have gotten a biopsy 2 years later instead of saying they're treating you for cancer for 2 years. You just said before that you don't have the money for extra medical stuff. If they don't need that test to confirm cancer, why would you spend extra money on a biopsy you don't need?
Honestly, my take is going to be very different than the average take from what I've seen, at least so far. There's a lot of people saying that this is abhorrent, which is true, and that it's on par with what Boogie always seems to do to himself, which is true. But where I would draw the line and argue with people is where they say this is the thing that will finally do Boogie in. Boogie is uncancelable. JT. Who let the dogs out? I'm out for a walk with Dexter right now, and I just had to cover this because I had so many people ask me, like I said. And yeah, here's the thing about Boogie. Like, there's been so many horrific things he's done, and it's almost like so many things that he's done is so wrong that people can't even keep track or remember them. I guess the latest ones are the ones that are freshest in people's minds, where it's like, oh, he tried to do a cryptocurrency scam, and that was horrible, and that was going to get him canceled. It's like, no, because here's the thing. When you base the premise of your channel off of feel bad for me because I'm such a pathetic loser that I just can't do anything right, then that is what people expect out of you. One of the most impressive things that I've seen is how Boogie dealt with a gigantic plagiarism scandal that I covered in a previous video. And I, at the time, was thinking, holy crap, this is kind of like Philip Mewson. He just straight up stole a script from someone for a video. This is going to do him in. No one even cared. Like, no one. I barely saw anyone even talking about it. I just think it's interesting how YouTube and the internet in general just holds Boogie to a much, much lower standard. Like, there's no one below him. He can survive anything.
You quit your job or school and focus solely on making money through YouTube. You are now being fueled by fear. Every day goes from, I wonder if this video will blow up so people will notice me, to, oh, if this video doesn't do well, I'm not gonna be able to eat.
But when you quit your job and make YouTube a full-time gig, you're motivated by a whole other thing, and that's fear. Fear that you're going to earn enough money to survive doing it.
And this is just on par with how bad Boogie is. And I know there's going to be a lot of people out there that probably disagree with me, but time will show that I'm right. The only thing that's going to do Boogie in is his weight. And he will be done and closed down because of that with life. But as far as YouTube, and as long as he's breathing, nothing is going to stop this guy. Nothing can stop this guy. I've been watching Boogie since before I started YouTube. He was actually, ironically, one of my inspirations to start my channel. Not for the reasons of what he does, but just because I'm like, man, if this guy can talk to a camera, hell, anyone can talk to a camera. And who knows what can go with it and where you can go with it. So it was one of those things where I'm like, man, he's really good at it. He's entertaining and it's interesting. And I was completely enthralled and fascinated with his whole life story, with his upbringing and the terrible parenting that he had, and the struggles with his weight and the weight loss journey. And I mean, that was amazing stuff. That was prime peak Boogie. And it's been a very slow downfall from there since then, but he still has a way to get everybody talking about him, for good or bad. It doesn't matter. Like, that's what I keep going back to. As long as he doesn't, like, murder someone, which he almost did, shooting a gun outside his house, one time. As long as he stays out of prison, like nothing's going to stop this guy. Not like literally nothing. And I saw a few takes on it. I've seen a lot of people very pissed off at Boogie. A lot of people saying that this is it. This is what's going to do him in. But no, this is just another thing in the long line of abhorrent shit that Boogie has done and gotten away with, because that's how he bases the premise of his channel, off of being a feel bad for me sob story, pathetic loser that just can't seem to do anything right because he manipulates his audience into thinking that he's an idiot and he's dumb. And ultimately, I mean, you watch the documentary on him, it shows who he is, the real Boogie. And it's embarrassing, it's pathetic, it's gross, it's disgusting, but it's also a car wreck that you just can't look away from.
I am morbidly obese. I have no references, no work history, and no education. And when you Google my name, you might see rumors that I beat my ex-wife and I'm also a pedophile. Should mention I'm also a felon.
Okay. What's the nature of your felony?
Aggravated assault.
How old is it?
About 2 years.
Damn. That's what's so funny about Boogie. He is the prime example of like what YouTube was, and in a weird way still is. So yeah, those are my thoughts on Boogie. Do I think what he did is abhorrent? Of course. Do I think he was taking advantage of his audience, lying about cancer? Of course. Do I think that it's like one of the worst things you could possibly do? Yes, of course. But again, do I think he's going to be canceled because of it? Nope. If anything, I look at this as what the hell is he going to do next to one up this? Because that's one thing Boogie seems to always do, is find a way to one up how ridiculously dumb, stupid, crazy, grifty, wrong, stealing, manipulative, like awful things that someone does. I just wonder what the next thing is going to be, because it's not going to be cancellation. You can bet on that. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. And as always, you stay smashing.
You're lying.
Oh, there's
What
plenty of things I haven't shared. There's plenty of things I haven't shared, but go right ahead. Prim what you got to
Bro,
prim.
this is actually so fucking sad, Boogie.
Yeah, it is. It is what it is.
This is like fucking horrible.
It is what it is. And it's so funny because I'm looking at my portal right now.
Show us.
I'm looking. No. You.
Let me put out a scenario. It sounds like the doctor said that you had this, disease or whatever, the high red cell, and then you Googled it, and this is cancer, and you ran with it, and you made the video, and then you found out later that you got the form of it that doesn't have cancer, and you can't fucking set the record straight. That's what it sounds like to me.
It sounds like, I gotta be honest.
If that is what happened, then I'm still confused as of right now.
Smash,